In this lesson, we will talk about the institutional and political infrastructural guidelines and advisories. We will go over some of the most major world organizations and then dive deeper into more specific agencies. It is important to stay up to date on global attitudes regarding generative AI, as this landscape is quickly changing and advisories from major agencies can influence local implementations. These sources are typically backed by expert leaders as well, establishing these guidances as sources of truth. To start, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, has published multiple articles, discussions, and advisories regarding generative AI and its potential impact on children. More specifically, it has released an official guidance regulating AI, which includes a subsection on guidance for regulating AI in education, which is obviously applicable to children and adolescents. It highlights age-dependent regulations in order to keep protections proportional to children and other vulnerable groups so that well-being is equally protected amongst all groups. Additionally, it calls for stricter age verification on accessible chatbots like ChatGPT, which claim to have a minimum age limit of 13 years old, but do not have any enforcement methods to verify this. Aside from this, UNESCO has published a digital competence framework database that houses the different frameworks that are being published by reliable sources for people to explore. The United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, clearly has a sole focus on protecting children's rights and has published their own documentation on children's rights and AI usage. UNESCO's AI for Children project, which is spearheading children's rights in the AI domain, has released their own guidance on how to design and implement child-centered AI. Some requirements include bias awareness, supporting child development, and preparing children for using AI. The American Psychological Association, or APA, has published a health advisory on AI usage among adolescents, citing key points such as establishing boundaries, AI regulations need to differ based on age demographic, limiting overall access to AI, and more intentional filtering for inappropriate content. Additionally, they push for the continuation of research on the impact of AI usage on children and adolescents' development. Moving on to governmental action, advisories vary based on individual country. For example, the United Kingdom has issued AI guidelines similar to the organizations previously mentioned and has published specific filtering regulations that they feel are necessary for safe AI implementation, such as fully stopping users from generating or coming across harmful content, filtering based on age, moderating AI usage in educational contexts, and more. On a different approach, in recent news, Norway has implemented a full restriction of AI usage in educational contexts for students under the age of 14, and students ages 14 to 16 may use AI with teacher supervision. Finally, the United States Department of Education has released guidance of their own, such as integrating AI literacy into curricula, expanding computer science education, and using AI to provide personalized learning to allow for growth across all students. While there are many advisories, guidelines, and releases we can go over, these examples are meant to show how AI politics can be alike and how they can differ. Keeping up to date with domestic and global attitudes on AI can help guide local implementations of AI regulation and explore alternatives to what has been proposed if needed.